Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Allie, and this year, the end of this year, I did my 10 by the end, and it was a very extravagant list, very daunting list. And now I'm found myself scrambling at the end of the year. Like, I don't know if you guys are even gonna see this at the end of the year or if it's gonna be the new year for you. But one of the books that I want to finish by the end of this year is Joe Hill's 20th Century Ghost short story collection. This features not only 20th Century Ghost, but also features the Black Phone, hence the cover. The Black Phone's been turned into a movie and a sequel, the newest one coming out this past year. So I wanna get to them, the book and the movies. With that being said, I'm feel like freshly new to Joe Hill's work. Last Christmas time, I read Nosferatu and I really liked it. I feel like I've read some short stories from him, but I still need to catch up on a lot of his backlist. But after reading the introduction from Christopher Golden, I was like sold. I was like, I am so excited for these short stories. And one thing I want to point out is that although he wasn't spoilery in the introduction, he definitely said, like, this is a phenomenal collection of short stories. It's very horror, although there's other stories sprinkled through that are a little bit more like heartwarming and not so horror. He said, the horror is subtle. And that is what I'm going to remember throughout this, because I've read 2 of these stories so far, and I don't think I could sum this up any better than saying the horror is subtle, because that's what it's been so far. But I've liked it. And like I do most of my anthology videos and book ratings, I will be rating individual stories, and then the average rating at the end will determine what I give the book as a whole. So with that being said, the first story in this is called Best New Horror, and this is about Eddie Carroll, who is an anthology editor. He discovers this story that is mind-blowing, and the rest of the story he is trying to track down the author because he has to meet them. And what he finds at this author's house is so jarring, it's so out of this world, it's so sci-fi and like flip and reality vibes. I won't lie, most of the story was kind of slow for me. But once we got there, and it ended up coming out on top as a 5-star. Like, it was so good. Looking back on it and as a reread, the slow, subtle horror and anticipation up until the ending, so good. And then the next one is 20th Century Ghost, and this is just about this moviegoer. He goes to the theater. It is, I'm looking at my notes, I'm so sorry. It is the Rosebud Theater, and he comes to find out it's haunted by this little girl named Imogen who appears to him. And from there on, it's not anything super scary. I think like Christopher Golden said, it's kind of like more subtle horror, but like heartwarming at the same time. And you just have the dynamics of the movie theater. Like, I feel like that's the main star of the show, is this theater. And like, I feel like if you're a moviegoer, you'll really appreciate the descriptions and everything that intertwines with this story. It's really hard to talk too much about short stories without giving way too much away, so I will leave it at that. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 5-star, so I've only read 2 so far, but they've both been 5 stars. I really liked all of the aspects of both of them, how eerie they both were, but also just how subtle they were, and the storytelling was just phenomenal with both. And 20th Century Ghost, I love a short ghost story. Like, it's just everything. Sometimes the shorter they are, the better, because it's just very cutthroat, dry, to the point, and doesn't have to be like so scary and over the top. It can be something as subtle as just telling you the story of the ghost's life, and I love that. I will be continuing my read through it and take you guys along with me this holiday season doing so. Love the awkward silence, how's a nice I said I fell, landed in your bed. I sleep so cold, your face so red. I don't need no photo, burn a moment in my head. I don't care at all, can we just break bread? Heard that you were coming through. What if I was on the way to you?
What if feelings weren't bulletproof? Fucked around, found out that's not true. Cause you put the I in impossible. I think I talk too much. Probably cause you said I didn't talk enough. Lying in my bed, letting thoughts run up. Trying to make amends with myself. Maybe you're bad for my health, don't talk enough. Maybe cause you said that I talk too much. Lying in my bed, letting thoughts run up. Trying to make amends with myself. Maybe you're bad for my health, don't. Right there, we can make it up if you fight fair. It doesn't mean that we can kick it out your place. Get stuck in our old ways. No face, a feeling I won't chase. Already my feeling dirty, I think we gotta break it up. We're going steady, I mean nobody, I took your photo off a wall. Can we set that shit aside, swallow all my pride, baby. I've been staying up and feeling bad lately. Heard that you were coming through. What if I was on my way to you? What if feelings weren't bulletproof?
Alright, you guys, bear with me for this clip because I literally have you propped up on my yarn right now. It's a mess behind me and I am too lazy to even get ready, let alone go turn my dryer off for this clip. So, quick check-in because I've read like 3 more from this. The next one was pop art, and this is a really heart-wrenching story about this boy who obviously is having a really hard time finding his people or finding somebody who understands him. So when he does, and he finds friendship with a person, like a balloon person, it is such a heartwarming yet like broke my heart story. I landed at a 4-star with it. You Will Hear the Locust Sing is a rage revenge story. We have yet another young boy who is navigating life and just kind of being dealt a really sad and hard hand. He has a very like abusive father and just not really nice people in his life, and his like pent up rage, what I gather anyways, or maybe even sadness, develops into this like body morphing experience, if you get the gist from the title. What an ending is all I can say. I will say some of the rest of it was a little slow for me, so I am landing at another 4. I think it was still a great time. And then the next one and last one for now that I read, I loved. Abraham's Boys. This is about a father named Abraham who has 2 boys, and once again we have this really rocky dynamic of having a power-hungry, over-the-top father who's very abusive and just awful to his kids, and at the same time he is a vampire hunter and he keeps warning his kids about these vampires and these creatures. I overall had a great time with it. Another just wow ending. For short stories, I think I really like the wow factor with the closing every time. It just gets me, and I feel like Joe Hill is doing such a great job doing that with this collection. I did give Abraham's Boys 5 stars. We have lots to do today, so you're gonna get some B-roll. But hopefully I will check in later with some more stories as well. Question mark? I don't really know what today is going to look like, but what I do know is that I'm probably not going to put any makeup or anything on today. So this is what you get today. The next day I film, I'll try a little bit harder.
I think I talk too much, probably cause you said I didn't talk enough. Lying in my bed, letting thoughts run up. Trying to make amends with myself. Maybe you're bad for my health, don't talk enough. Maybe cause you said that I talk too much. Lying in my bed, letting thoughts run up. Trying to make amends with myself. Maybe the problem is you.
again, did want to check in at least one more time tonight. The boys are in bed. We're off to bed soon. It's been a full-on amazing but like tiring day. I did get through a few more of these. My little notes here with me. The first one was Better Than Home. This one was a little confusing for me. I felt like it had really heartwarming moments. This is about a child who we gather is somewhere on the spectrum, neurodivergent, and he has a very supportive dad. And it's just kind of like his life, the troubles he goes through, kind of the ups and the downs. I felt like it was a really touching one, but there was still some things in it that I could have done without, as well as not really hitting for me like the rest of them have in this short story collection. So I did land at a 3. It was just okay. The Black Phone. I was excited to finally get to it because I've never watched Black Phone, and now Black Phone 2 is out. And I wanted to know what it was all about. And I definitely, besides knowing that there is this like paranormal Black Phone, like I really went into this blindly, and it was so good. Not what I was expecting. It's very dark. It's very trauma inducing. I have a really hard time reading about anything bad happening to kids in books, and that is what this is about. Kids are being kidnapped, and our main character is seeing his friends disappearing, and then he becomes the one that's kidnapped and is kept hostage, and there's paranormal sci-fi elements to the story. I had such an amazing time with it, and I gave it 5 stars, and I'm so excited to finally be able to watch the movies. In the rundown, I liked the little moment in this one that tied into the black balloons, like the Black Phone. I liked that element of it. There's also other, I feel like, tie-ins with this, but ultimately this young, I gathered it was a young kid who stumbled upon kind of like a crime scene, and it's kind of like one of those things where like you never know what to do in certain situations. Like obviously, like you see somebody injured, you want to help them, but like what if that person isn't innocent, or what if there's other elements that you're missing? You know, your mind's not very clear because of the trauma in front of you, that you can't really digest everything that's going on around you to see any like potential danger. So your mind's just like running like crazy, like, what do I do? It's kind of one of those stressful stories. I rather liked it, and I gave it 4 stars. Lastly, I read The Cape, and it was so good. Another 5-star read. This is about these brothers who, as young kids, are playing, and he takes something from his brother. I think it might have actually been maybe the cape, and climbs up high in like a tree type situation and falls. But later in life, he is reminiscing back to that moment, and I don't want to spoil it, but there's tie-ins with this cape and figuring out this supernatural thing that happened to him that day, and realizing now as an adult what he can do with that. And there was definitely like really cringe, just like icky moments in the story that I was not on board for. But the concept and the idea of the actual cape and everything it surrounded with that, it was just another really cool element of a story that I just really loved. Like, all these stories are so unique but so fascinating, and I'm really enjoying it. I do apologize though, once again, for these check-ins today. I will try to be more put together tomorrow, but it's crazy, chaotic holiday time.
remember when he says, in the morning, I'm making waffles.
Good morning. Today I'm taking you along with me to get ready. I haven't done this in a while, and sorry, my voice is still kind of rough, sketchy, but I am feeling a lot better. Don't really even feel sick at all. Also, there is a mess behind me that was last minute wrapping last night that I had to finish up on. So yeah, don't mind the mess. I live in the Midwest, so weather-wise, you never really know what to expect, and it is definitely true today because it is like, I would say probably 70 degrees outside, and it's Christmas. It is wild. So I have my lovely like booked Christmas sweatshirt on, but I'm like, I'm probably just gonna change to a t-shirt for today because it's so hot. It's not hot, but I'm like, if I can wear just a t-shirt, I'm gonna wear just a t-shirt. Anyway, since I've left you guys, I read like, I think 4 more. The next one was called Last Breath, and this was like about this weird museum type place that this family goes to. Anyways, they go to this museum, and it's like a new concept, and they're saying that they have captured the last breath of a lot of people and can listen to these last breaths. It's a really, really interesting and cool concept. It goes even creepier. That's just the gist. It was really good. I gave that one 5 stars. Then we have Dead Wood. This one is probably the shortest in the collection, I would figure. It's extremely short, almost to a point of like feeling kind of pointless to give it a rating. For what it is though, it is eerie and it is just the talk of trees. My note next to it is literally haunted tree stories because I didn't want to give too much away, but that's literally it. Like, that's the story. The way it was written though was really cool, and didn't necessarily fill out a place. It just felt so short compared to like the rest. Widow's Breakfast is one that sadly is starting to already slip past my mind, which I hate. I think it was just the length of this. Like, if this one and the last one could like combine a little bit and that one be a little bit longer and this one be a little bit shorter, I'd be happy as a clam because yeah, I think the build up to this was just a little long for a short story, and then like it had to jump into all of the good bits really fast. Really, this is about a man traveling through and winding up at this woman's house who is a widow, and she's kind of telling like her life story to him and also giving him breakfast at the same time. And it's sweet and like feels like heartwarming and stuff, but does turn very eerie and creepy with some games that these kids in the house like to play. And yeah, I would say 50% to the end, phenomenal, and I loved that, but I am landing at a 3 because of like the rest of the story. Which leads me to the last one, Bobby Conroy Comes Back from the Dead, which I also gave a 3 star. I think the concept and idea of this is really cool, and I think if you love Dawn of the Dead, you'll get a kick out of it. I personally, it's something that like I definitely have seen parts of, but like I don't know. I don't think I've ever really been like a full zombie girl. I enjoyed, I think, like maybe 2-ish seasons of The Walking Dead, and I mean, I liked Zombieland, but that was because of the humor and the comedy of it. But yeah, I've never really been like a huge, or like I Am Legend. I like that type of like horror zombie. So I think that there is still plenty out there that I could enjoy, including possibly this one. But for me, it didn't really do much for me because this is about, I don't know, it reads very just like general fiction for the most part, but they're on the set of Dawn of the Dead, and two past, so it's kind of like almost like a second chance romance, like two past people bump into each other, and it's kind of like a what if it happened, what would our lives look like now, blah 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 blah. But it's just kind of, I don't know, it's very weird because like she's currently with somebody else too, so it's just kind of icky too. And I think the only concept of it being like, I don't know, full-on horror is just the fact that they're on this movie set. Like they're, I guess, like extras, or he's an extra. Yeah, I think they were both extras, like zombie extras. But more than anything, it focuses in on like their lives up until this point and like their failures and like different things like that. That they're like, what if we were together, and like how things would be different type of ordeal. I don't know. I hate closing powder so much. It goes everywhere. My pants. You guys ever get like a fixation on like a movie quote and then turn it into everything? Because mine here lately has been the cop from Jumanji going, my car, not my car. But I say it about everything. I think James is tired of it. I think he's ready for me to retire that one.
Oh my God! My car. Oh, my car.
Anyways, I think I have like 2 stories left, so I will check in with you guys when I can. I do have to finish getting ready and do something with this hair today and possibly change. I don't know. It's a mess of a Christmas. But I hope you guys have had a wonderful holiday season. I didn't really plan on my 20th Century Ghosts to be like my holiday vlog, but it just so happened to like work. Like it's almost like perfect. You guys are gonna see some holiday clips in some of my other vlogs, even going into the New Year's, and I'm sorry, but yeah, I just thought it was kind of perfect to like put it all here as well in between these short stories. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed. I hope that you're having an amazing holiday season if you celebrate, or just hopefully some downtime. I am hoping to get to the last couple of stories in this and also watch the Black Phone movies so I can do maybe a slight review here. So yeah, hopefully I'll be back very soon.
Fire and put it on me. Can't tell if I'm tired of this or more swing. Love the awkward silence, has a nice. I said I fell and landed in your bed. I sleep so cold, your face so red. I don't need no photo, burn a moment in my head. I don't care at all, can we just break bread?
Heard that you were coming through. What if I was on the way to you? What if feelings weren't bulletproof?
Fuck the vibe, find out that's not true. Cause you put the I in impossible. I think I talk too much, probably cause you said I didn't talk enough. Lying in my bed, letting thoughts run up. Trying to make amends for myself. Maybe you're bad for my health, don't talk.
Okay, so not only am I back, but I also finished the 20th Century Ghost short story collection. I am currently editing and I forgot to turn my laptop down, and so every time I get a text message, it pings, so I had to go turn that down really quick. Okay, last couple of stories. Actually, before that, you guys, I did change. I wore a t-shirt today, but I was like, I'm putting my Christmas sweater back on tonight because this is like the last time I'm gonna be able to wear it this year. Because it's like, you know, it's time to take the trees down. It's time to take everything down. And yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm putting the sweater back on. Maybe I'll take you guys down a notch. Lighting is horrendous. It's nighttime, so I have my lamp pointed at me. So yeah, sorry for like the shadows and stuff of the camera. All right, we have My Father's Mask. Now, I thought the game and eeriness of The Widow's Breakfast was weird. No, this one was weird. This is about this boy named Jack, and his parents are very strange from the get-go. And then they take him to this like lakeside cabin, and while there they start playing this strange game with him, and it just derails from there. I will say I found this one to be a little long. Like the setting up to it was a little much for me. I kind of would have liked it to just jump into the action and like the game a little bit quicker, but once it did, it took off, it stayed steady, and oh my gosh. I'm landing at a 4. Voluntary Committal was about 2 brothers, one who is autistic. The amount of boxes from Christmas in my living room, and it's like my cats are not gonna want me to get rid of them, but like it's noise 24/7, and when they scrape the cardboard, This brother's fixations include building mazes in their basement. There's a lot of like family dynamics going on in this one. This is another one that was quite long. I like the uneasy, unsettling feeling you get kind of reading this, and the whole concept of these life-size mazes and disappearances and different things like that that like kind of intertwine with it was really, really cool. But I think out of any of them, if I wanted them to be a little bit shorter, it probably would have been this one, because it just kind of kept losing my attention. And then it would do something that I'd be like, oh wow, and then I'd be back in, and then I would find myself kind of like, you know, I just kind of kept doing that with this one, when the overall concept I think is so cool. So I think I am landing at another 4 with that one. And with that, that wraps up this short story collection. I will say the little sneaky devil, Joe Hill, did include another short story in the acknowledgements, which I've never seen before, and I thought that that was really funny. It is called Scheherazad's Typewriter, and it's about a deceased writer, like old electric typewriter, and even in the afterlife it is like writing. There's more to it, but it's extremely short. It's literally in the acknowledgements. I think it's a special little treat at the end of this book. I would give it 5 stars. I thought it was very intriguing and something just so cool to add to the acknowledgements, although I'm not tallying it up for my overall star rating of the collection, which is going to bring us to tallying things up for this video. I had 0 2 stars, which I rarely ever give a book a 1 star, especially in a short story collection. I have over the years have had 2 stars, but 0 2 stars in this one. I had 3 3 stars. I had 6 4 stars, and that means I also had 6 5 stars. And so this is one of those where like I'm leaving it up to me. Is it a 4 star or is it a 5 star? And I have to give 5 stars to this story collection. I had so much fun with it. It was such a time to read this around the holidays and just fit in a story here and there. And I just really loved like turning the pages and not knowing what to expect with the next one. And each one of these, even the ones that like maybe didn't do it for me as well as the other ones, I will say each of them still had such a unique and cool concept that I've never read about before. I never thought I would give a 4 star to a story about a balloon kid. I never thought I would give such high ratings to stories that involve children and in really negative, horrific ways, but the way that it's worded, the way that he wrote them, and also like the revenge plot just really did it for me, and I love it. And a lot of ways those stories remind me of what his father, Stephen King, does with a lot of his kid books as well. Kid books, I mean like books that have kids in them, where you can tell the author is rooting for the kids always. And I love that because it is so hard to read horrific things about kids and to not have like a good outcome, or to leave the story just like sick to your stomach. And that's not to say that there's a good outcome for every kid in this book, because it's not. But I like what he did with each of these, and so many good ones, so many 5 stars, and definitely ones that I would love to go back and reread. That does segue us to the end of this. I am going to make time this week to fit in my watches for the Black Phone and Black Phone 2. I am hoping one of my New Year's things is going to be staying more consistent on my letterbox, because I have got to update it. I always have it linked down below, but you can stay tuned even on my Instagram, which is Allie Brienne Horror. I'm sure movie reviews, book review, all of that is coming there very soon as well. But yeah, I don't really get to review it here in this video. We are starting the Black Phone either tonight or tomorrow, but I mean, tonight is Stranger Things. So I still wanted to wrap up this video because I did finish the book. So I have quite a bit I want to push out at the end of this year. So this video's got to go up. So stay tuned to my Instagram and or my letterbox, and I'll be updating with my thoughts there if you're curious about how the book and movies like differ for me. I'm intrigued to see what I think about the Black Phone movie. I love the short story. I don't know how it's going to translate into a movie. And then I'm also just wondering like what they're gonna do with the second one, because I don't know, like what do you do after that? I don't know. But that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you've read this. If you have, what is your favorite from this book? I would love to know. And I'll see you guys in my next video.
Trying